Forget walking. If you driving with me today, we on the fast track. We got no more time for these games. We gotta get this word out. Alright. You ever wonder why we spend all this time going to school in our life? We spend 5 days a week going to school, but we only spend 1 day a week going to church. And school teaches us all about the worldly ways of everything, but yet we only spend 1 day living about the spiritual way of things. And we're spiritual people. We're spirits inside of a physical body. So why are we only spending 1 day learning about the truth of how life is and spending 5 days learning about this carnal world and everything else that's going on around us instead? Imagine what it would look like if it was the reverse. What if we spent 5 days in the Word and only 1 day learning about the world? Jesus was a teacher, and the disciples called themselves students. And, we hold the disciples so high up, like, oh, they were this and that because they were doing all these things and they were walking with Jesus and blah, blah, blah. But you know what? They had a good teacher and they were learning the truth every day and walking it and living it. And Jesus said that we're supposed to do things just as him and even greater. And the disciples walked that out. And, maybe the reason that we're not seeing that nowadays is because we're not walking like that, because we're not spending every day of the week with Jesus. We're so focused on walking in the carnal, physical world instead of walking in the truth of God that, of course, these things aren't happening because we're not doing what we're called to do. And, we sit here, we wonder why it takes so long for us to figure it out and get as far as we need to get. Some people, they're in their 30s, 40s before they finally figure out the word and start walking it out. Why? Because we've only gone 1 day a week to figure this out. We're not dedicating that time and taking this seriously like we should. Taking it like it's the very bread of life. Like it is the very essence of our being. That sounds kind of familiar. I believe there is a scripture about the bread of life and about the word being our food and that we need to survive on that. But yet, I know I can't survive off of food 1 day a week, but here we are trying to do it, and then we're crying about how it's not working. There's that song, Dusty Bibles, that had come out, and man, is that true. We got dust on our Bibles and brand new iPhones, and we wonder why we feel this way. Well, of course we feel this way. We're not feeding our spirits. We're starving spiritually. We're starving. And when we go to church, we're starving for God. We're starving for this interaction, this miracle, this whatever it is, this deep connection with God. When we're supposed to have it all day, every day, we're supposed to be living in it. What if it was the other way around? What if we took it as seriously as we took school? What if we took it as seriously as college? What if we took it as seriously as our jobs? What if we took it as seriously as the food that we eat 3 times or more a day? Or less a day? Whatever it is, what if we took it as serious as feeding our body just as much as we need to feed our spirit? What if we put our spirit first? What if we put God and His Word first before everything else? Then would all other things follow? I don't know, but I'm pretty sure that's in the Word too. When are we going to start taking this seriously? When are we going to stop living by the ways of the world and crying about how bad it is when the solution is right there in front of us? And though we say that we're trying to do it, and I raised my hands in church on Sunday. I did this and I'm seeking God, and I spent 5 minutes today reading a couple scriptures and I felt better for a little while, and that got me through. You had a snack. That's all it is. You had a snack, and you can't live by snacks. It's time to be eating solid food, guys. We gotta stop playing around. The times are here. And everyone's talking about how hard it is. and how much of a struggle it is. And if we were eating the right food and we were healthy, we wouldn't feel this way. It's time to start eating the bread of life. And I'm sorry I'm getting emotional, but this stuff is true, and this word needs to be heard. We gotta stop playing around with our souls. We gotta stop. Life is hard enough, and that's what this ministry is all about. I got your back, and we should all have each other's backs, and this needs to be heard by everyone. You need to start eating the spiritual food. You need to start feeding your spirit, the bread of life, that manna, the quail, the everything. The bread of life, guys. That's what you need. It's called the bread of life for a reason. It's for your life. Your life. So if you're struggling in life and you're weak in life, why are we weak? Because our health is off. Why is our health off? Because we don't have the proper nutrition. How do we get the proper nutrition? Because of how we eat, what we eat. So when we eat the word and we digest it, our body, our spirit processes that. And we become healthier. And our body feeds and it thrives and it lives off of that. And it gives us the energy we need and the strength that we need to get through the day. I believe there's like, who knows how many scriptures about that. It's kind of the general theme of the Bible. When are we going to start believing it? It's all right there, but yet we're crying every day how hard it is. Eat that food, eat that manna. Get it in your body. I love you guys. I think you've gotten the point by now. I'll see you soon. Stay blessed.